What the heck? Something new. Oh boy. Now, how many times do I have to tell you? New format. We do not start until the guests arrive. Do I have to tell you that every single night? Jesus. Every night, I got to tell you the same thing. New format. When we have the guests, then we start the show. Unless it gets to be like 7:10 and there's no guests, and then I have to talk to you all night. See? We have a guest. Now we start the show, asshole. Up. Come on. Oh, gee, now the tablet don't want to cooperate. Stop already. Jeez. Had enough putting up with you. From the WDWL TV multiplex, live from Grumpy's staff studio, office, Grumpy's staff office. With great anticipation, we bring you the pride of this station. The grumpy old man, me, and, the stupid ass grumpy disco vulture. Take your bow. Now, straight. You're going at an angle, idiot. Take your bow. There. Oh my God. I'm going to replace you with a cockatoo. Get back in your corner. Look at the camera. Oh. Greetings, friends. I see Kathy's here. I don't know if we're going to have a nomad tonight. He didn't answer my email. Now, before we get started, is the mic sound okay? I'm going to tell you a little story about the microphone. This was one of the kind of treasures that came out of my buddy's studio. He never used it. It was all set up. He never used it. This microphone is about $175. It's the top of the line Blue Yeti X. The mounting arm, you ought to see this thing. It could hold up a bulldozer. The mounting arm itself is almost $200. This is a setup that you would find at a real radio station. He put this thing all together and never used it. Never used it. A slight echo. Yeah. You know, I don't understand. Now, this thing has got software that comes with it. Matter of fact, I had to find it and download it today. There are about 10 different audio settings, and evidently I didn't get them set right. Not to mention, this software has like 30 different sound effects. Now, I've got this thing set for what's called FM DJ. You can sound like an alien. You can sound like a chipmunk. You can sound like Dracula. There's a list. It's got to be 30 different sound effects built in. I didn't want to screw around. So I set it for what's called Blue Voice. Now, Blue is the name of the corporation. They're owned by Logitech. This Blue Voice setting is supposed to automatically adjust every time you talk. So I set it for Blue Voice, and then I had AM DJ or FM DJ. AM DJ sounded a little scratchy, so I set it for FM. This microphone's amazing, absolutely amazing at what it can do. I could come on here tomorrow and sound like, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. I went through playing with the voices today. Frankenstein, they've got one voice, witness protection. It sounds like a voice from like 60 Minutes, where the guy's behind the screen. My buddy was the type of guy where something caught his eye. He bought it. Like I say, he must have had 50 microphones. He had at least 30 different mounting arms. This one here is the Rolls Royce of mounting arms. It probably weighs 20 pounds. You ought to see the adjustments on this thing. He had it all put together, and it was hanging on a hook in his studio. And his wife said he never touched it. He had one crappy old microphone that he would use all the time. I don't understand why you would buy all these microphones and never use them. I've got microphones over in Studio One that never came out of the box. Matter of fact, the boxes are still sealed. So I thought I had this thing adjusted right, but evidently I'm going to have to play with it a little more tomorrow. If you're saying there's an echo in it. I'm not hearing it. Usually I hear it. And as you see, to go with the background, I kind of made some minor changes, like the clock and the audio up top. I also, if you notice, I changed the font in the chat. It makes it a little easier for me to read. You know, what I'm thinking of doing is like maybe every week use a different microphone. I've got enough, believe me. The only thing I have to do is mount them on an arm. That's all I have to do, and wire them up, and test them before you use them. But yeah, I've been thinking of doing that. I also was over in Studio One playing around today with the soundboard. Matter of fact, I brought the old mixer out, the one that I started with, and I'm in the midst of wiring everything up. I'm going to start doing at least one show a week from my original studio over here. Last night, after the show, Roger sent me a pencil sketch on canvas of all of this. He said it took him a short time. It's amazing. It was now yesterday's background. He's got the damn bird with it, and today he started painting it. He asked me what I thought. I almost fell out of the chair. He's going to gift me a painting of this with yesterday's background. I was blown away. As a matter of fact, I sent it to Nomad for his opinion, and I never heard from Nomad today, but yeah, he's making me a painting. He said if everything goes right, he'll have it in the mail the 1st of April. I'm like, holy shit. But he did the sketch, got everything. Yeah. It almost looks like he took a black and white picture. And he said it was all sketched out on the canvas, ready to start painting with my approval. Unbelievable. But I've known Roger since kindergarten. That's how far we go back. We were both in kindergarten together, went through grade school, junior high, and high school. And of course, after graduation, we all lost touch. And then, thanks to Faceplant, we're finding, it's amazing how many of my class members are on Faceplant. And it's amazing that all these years since graduation, how many of the girls still won't fucking talk to me. Like, thank God we graduated and got away from him. Facebook, oh, no, we ain't talking to him. It's starting to worry me where Jenny is. Haven't seen Jenny. Nomad evidently is doing that thing called work. Because he must have been busy today. Because usually even if, he's got a few minutes, he'll send me I'm busy. I'll get back to you later. I didn't hear from him today, so he must be really busy. Kathy, you would have loved it today. I go up for smokes. And there were probably 8 customers in the store. And I hear little Pixie say to Mom, "Can I go see Funny Man?" And Mom said yes. And she come barreling around the counter, down the aisle, and she's standing next to me going, "Mom let me see Funny Man today." I said, "Well, you see me when I come in." "No, I see up close." And she followed me through the store. And every time I walk past a customer, he Funny Man. I'd like, oh, Jesus. Stuck right next to me. And then I'd be looking at something and she'd go, "You gonna buy?" I said, "I'm just looking." And she knows business already. She goes, "You look, you buy." I didn't touch anything else in the store. The old, "You broke it, you bought it." She's like, "You look, you buy." No, thank you. As a matter of fact, she was driving me so crazy I forgot the pasta. Because they have this line of pasta from India. Now it's, same as we got pinwheels and seashells and, what is it? Rotini, the curly. And that's what I wanted to get because I'm going to have my spaghetti and clam sauce tonight. And I wanted to get the pasta. Tonight will be angel hair. She was, "You look, you buy." I walked right past the pasta. I didn't even look at it because I'm paying attention to her. Then I get home and I'm like, "God damn it, I forgot the pasta." But Asian kids and Indian kids, when they're 5, 6, 7 years old, especially the girls, they're adorable. They got that straight hair that just glistens and big eyes. I mean, she's a little doll. But today I hear her, "Can I go see Funny Man?" And Mom was like, "Yeah, okay." And she wears patent leather shoes, and they got the hard sole on them, and she sounds like a tap dancer coming around the counter. It's hilarious. Matter of fact, when I got up to the counter, I says to Dad, I said, "She gonna do that when she's like 18? She gonna be following me around?" He goes, "I don't know." But she's smart. Oh, smart as a whip. Straight A's. I think, I don't know if she's in second grade or third. But Dad told me straight A's. Every class. Although, she's homeschooled because she's got a desk and a computer and everything right in the corner at the end of the counter. And everything's all pink, and she's got some, it looks like a Barbie doll. I didn't pay that much attention to it. And then she's got it sits right in the corner, the other corner. A Pikachu little pillow, pink. I think she said it was a Pikachu. But everything on the desk is all neat, pencils all lined up nice and straight. Just, you can tell that's her work area. And sometimes Dad will let her do the cash register. And she can just barely see over the counter. The drawer comes out and it's about chin level. She takes the money out and hands it to him. He'll tell her, okay, here's a 20. His change is $4.48. She counts it out, hands it to Dad. But I'll tell you what, I am so happy to see them making a go of this store, because over the years, nobody could make a go of it. I don't know if it was mismanagement or what. Oh, look who's here! Uh-oh. Really? Is it a for sure thing, or they are making the decision now whether to yank the teeth? Although I'll tell you what, getting teeth pulled today versus back in the 70s, it was like archaic. Oh, Wyatt's here! Hey, buddy, good seeing ya. You didn't miss much. I was telling Kathy about the little pixie following me through the store again today. And I was looking, they have a lot of Indian products in the store. And I was looking at stuff. And she had the nerve to say, "You look, you buy." I said, "Okay, put that back down." Oh, I missed that one. I got a whole list, but I missed that one. I was waiting for more people to come in before I read the list of the ones I found today. Besides Left Snowshoe, Idaho, and Mudbutt, North Dakota, and Hell, Michigan. I think I got Bird in the Hand. Here's the ones I got. Inc., Arkansas. Poughkeepsie, Wisconsin. Poyssippi. Poughkeepsie. Cucumber, West Virginia. Boring, Oregon. Bowlegs, Oklahoma. Cut and Shoot, Texas. Oh, you got ones I missed. And then, Medicine Hat, Deadwood, Lost Mule Flat. And then in Maine, you have China, Denmark, Mexico, New Sweden, Norway, Peru, and Poland. I never knew there was a China Maine or a Peru Maine. And then in Pennsylvania, of course, King of Prussia. Everybody's heard of King of Prussia. I missed accident. Oh, Wyatt, you got some good ones. Let's see. Pennsylvania, King of Prussia, Bird in Hand, Red Lion, and Blue Ball. And then we got Hot Springs, New Mexico, Santa Claus, Indiana, Thousand Oaks, California, 29 Palms, California, Seven Valleys, PA, 84 PA, 84, 10 Sleep, Wyoming, 5 Points, Alaska, 6's, Oregon, and then a couple more from Chicken, Alaska, Clam Gulch, Alaska, and Eek, Alaska. Then we have Baghdad, Arizona, Snowflake, Arizona, and Peculiar, Washington. And Wyatt's got more. Man, you guys are coming up with ones although I did these basically on the fly. I was working on this microphone setup, and I catch one, write that one down, write that one down, because I actually had the United States map, and I was blowing the states up. Hershey, PA, oh, God, yeah. Matter of fact, Hershey, PA has one of the biggest car shows and swap meets on the East Coast. I've been there once. Holy Christ. It was just acres and acres of cars and car parts and Slaughter, well, yeah, she probably really nervous going, pull, oh! Believe me, she won't even feel it. Because, at least the way my dentist did. Of course, got his hand there and the pliers, and he just rocked me back and forth. Was just rocking me back and twisting the pliers. And then next thing you know, he's like, well, there's one. I never felt it come out. I don't know. Maybe the rocking back and forth was taking your mind off him twisting the pliers in your mouth. Sunbright? Yeah, see, what I should have done was taken one state and blown it up and then wrote all the odd ones down and then got another one. But I was hunting and pecking, this one, this one, this one. But it's amazing. Yeah, there's a Cleveland, Tennessee, and there's a Cleveland. There's like 5 Clevelands. Not to mention, there's a Cleveland across the pond. I'm composing a letter because I want a Cleveland police emblem. the decal. And that way, I would have my Cleveland, Ohio police and then Cleveland, England police. Yeah, Nomad got me the address. Yeah, I had a molar that was that way. The goddamn roots were like this. So he had to split it. That one I felt. That chisel there, bonk. And then he took out both halves. Yeah, as a matter of fact, for some reason, the molars on both sides, the roots were hooked. I'll never forget when I had my wisdom teeth out. Oh, I felt like shit for a week. Although they gave me, I want to say sodium pentothal when they put me out, because I asked the dental assistant, did I say anything to offend anybody here or anything that was kind of like pornographic? Yeah, that's truth serum. I wanted laughing gas, but they wouldn't give me any. I still have two over here that they got to pull yet. What did Kathy do, Wyatt? Yeah, I bet you it was a little brutal. Yes, I had heard anything with the armed services. It's like, don't be a baby, yank. Ah! Even though I changed the font, I have to. Okay, I had. You know, well, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to look like I had a golf ball in my mouth either. Although I'll tell you what, the one time I broke a damn tooth up here, and the next morning my face was like out to here. I woke up and the whole side of my head was fucking numb. I looked in the mirror and went, holy shit, who beat the fuck out of me? You know, I couldn't believe it. You crack a tooth, and next thing it's brrr. Although they tell you that that's the most serious infection. Like if somebody bites you, they said, oh man, I've seen working at the hospital. Every now and then I used to go down to the emergency room, and man, a guy come in, his wife bit him. His goddamn arm was swelled up, looked like a thigh. And they had to lance it open. Of course, he ignored it for a couple of days, you know. And the doctor said, a human bite is almost worse than an animal bite. Even if you are, you know, you take super care of your teeth, you know. Yeah, well, I got two. That's it. And they had done the impressions for my upper plate. And the day I went in for my final fitting, my goddamn insurance company denied it. So my teeth are sitting in a box in the dentist's office. Yeah. They had a whole change of all their fucking policies of what they cover, what they wouldn't cover. And they told me, well, you should turn it into Medicare. I said I did. Medicare turned it down. Why do I have this extra policy if you guys ain't gonna fucking pay? Every now and then the dentist calls me. Are you still interested in your teeth? Well, yes, but I'm not paying for them. I'll pay the deductible. I ain't paying that, but plus by now, they'd have to do all new goddamn impressions because my gums are so tough. Shit. I could eat apples and everything with no teeth. I don't even miss them. You know, luckily for me, I don't look like I don't have teeth. You get some of them people that are, yeah, everything's all sucked in. Uh-oh. Go ahead and say it, Wyatt. Let's piss everybody off. You know, I don't know why I'm using this bullshit 6 for $1 lighter when I went out and I bought fluid for my good lighter. My fancy one. I'm using that cheap piece of crap that I got. Yeah, 6 for $1. You know the quality of them lighters. Nowhere near quality. Matter of fact, one of the 6, I flicked it and it fell apart. All the shit went up. I was like, well, I didn't even get one light out of that one. I was going to say something, I lost my train of thought. Oh, well, it'll come to me. Or it's not that important. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Just before, as I was getting ready to do the stream, I'm setting it up, and the phone rings. And I looked at the clock, and I was like, 5 o'clock? I notice it's not my doctor's office, but it comes up with the hospital name on it. Like, what are they calling me for? So I answer the phone. Your primary care has referred you to Dr. Simmons. Now, over the span of the next 2 weeks, my primary care doctor is turning me inside out. X-rays, CT scans, MRIs, this test, a Doppler test on my aorta, and a Doppler test on my legs, and all kinds of shit. If it ends in ologist, I'm seeing one. So I didn't even really bother to ask. who Dr. Simmons was. He said, well, when would you like an appointment, morning or afternoon? Afternoon. Okay. Which location? I said, well, either this one or this one. Okay, we could give you choice A. Okay. How's 1:30? Okay. Okay, you'll get it on my chart, your confirmation. And just before I hung up, I said, by the way, this Dr. Simmons, what am I seeing him for? Well, he's a psychiatrist. What? Yes, you have to see a psychiatrist. Why? A new federal rule. Get this shit. I probably shouldn't say this, but I've been on fentanyl for pain. A patch. Every 48 hours. New patch. And I've been on this shit probably for 10 years. Well, a new federal guideline. After so many years, you have to see a psychiatrist. I said, why? Because you're on a federally controlled narcotic. Yeah. Why a shrink? To see if it's affecting your mind. I said, my mind's been affected for years. That was the wrong thing to say. I said, let me back that up. I'm being a smart ass. I could hear him clickety on the keyboard. I said, delete. Yeah. So now I have to go see a little shrinky dinky. Again. I had to see one several years ago. And that was basically the only really good rest that I got, was laying on that couch. Because I come right out and I told him, you ain't doing nothing for me. I'm sitting here telling you all this and you're making notes. I said, for all I know, you could be doodling or playing tic-tac-toe or something. I said, you ain't helping me. I ain't coming back. Well, now, this is an appointment I can't cancel. I must be there. Or they will notify my pain management doctor and tell him no more prescriptions until he comes to see Dr. Simmons. Oh yeah, let's put a gun to my head. So, the third week of February, April, I have to go see Dr. Simmons. Believe me, I ain't going to be happy going on that appointment. Although I'm not really happy about most of them, but at least he won't be sticking me with a needle. Kathy, I don't know why I bought these pieces of shit. I mean, 6 for $1. You know they ain't quality. And like I say, this whole assembly came off. And then, the goddamn butane is spewing out of the thing. I threw it in the wastebasket. But I collect Zippos. I probably have 200 in my file cabinet. I don't know why I bought these pieces of crap. I even have, I'll show it to you tomorrow. I don't have it on my belt. I have a leather pouch that clips to my belt, and you put your Zippo in it and snap the lid. And I have all these Zippo lighters. I got flints. Oh, that's why I bought them pieces of shit. They were out of Zippo lighter fluid. That's why. Where do I get Zippo lighter fluid? My little Indian store. I looked on the shelf and I went, "You got Zippo fluid? Which one? Black, yellow. Black. Black is the liquid. Yellow is the butane." I filled the lighter, and I'm still using that aggravating piece of crap. You know, I go to yard sales, garage sales, and I look for old Zippo lighters. And, Zippo, if you have the box that they come in, they repair them for free, for life. It's amazing how many broken Zippos that I have bought at garage sales and rummage sales and sent them to Zippo and got them fixed. Because, like the last one, the hinge broke. So I sent it back. And when you get it back, it's got brand new guts inside. They take the old guts out, they throw them away. You get brand new inside. They fix the lighter. They send it back to you with an envelope for your next repair. And they fix them for free. And they send you a penny. They have a little ring around it so you can put it on a keychain, But they don't ask no questions. I'm sure if I say, "Oh, I bought this at a rummage sale," they're like, "We ain't fixing that." They don't care. "Oh, you're taking her home? Did they do a yanker or no? Blood pressure up too much? Am I embarrassing her now? Is she listening? Going, who the hell is that asshole? Getting so fucking nosy." Sometime, when you got nothing better to do, go on Gargle and gargle the Zippo car. Back in the 40s, I think they had a special car made. And where the interior would be, it looks like two big giant Zippo lighters. They're like side by side, the Zippo mobile. It was an advertising gimmick. And when they get to like a show or that, they open the lighter and then they have this phony flame, you know. But they had a Zippo mobile. And it's in their headquarters to this day. But they used to drive the thing to shows, the Zippo mobile. It is the neatest looking thing. You know, that's back in the day when companies did neat shit like that. But if you gargle the Zippo mobile, it is the neatest looking thing. I would have loved to have been the driver. But it looks like two lighters, big giant lighters, side by side. And they had this special car built for an advertising gimmick. And I thought it was cool. It beats the hell out of the Batmobile. Driving a giant lighter. Like the Wienermobile. I was reading an article a couple weeks ago. And they were looking for applicants to drive the Wienermobile this year. And it's like they pick like 6 drivers and they alternate taking turns driving to promotional areas with the new. Now, they say it's new. Looks like the old one. But Oscar Mayer had a new Wienermobile built. And they were looking for college kids to drive this thing to advertising events. I think they said they've got four Wienermobiles, but they just had this new one built. They probably, took the body off, refreshened it, and put it on a new chassis. But yeah, they were looking for college kids to drive the Wienermobile. Did you get to drive it? I saw it when it was here in Cleveland. It is the neatest thing. I'd love to own one. As a matter of fact, I wanted. Now, Red Bull converted some minis. And they took like the ass end off the car. And it was a giant Red Bull can. And I wanted one of those minis. Because what they did was they took the 4-door and they chopped the ass end off. And they made a giant Red Bull can on the back of it. And it was a cooler. And they would go to events and pass out free Red Bulls, And the girl told me that when they had seen their life, they crushed them. I wanted a Red Bull mobile because it was a mini. Not that I like a mini, but I thought the can out the back was kind of neat. But they said, yeah, when it hit so many miles, they took them out of service and crushed them. even though it was a legal automobile. It had license plates, it had a VIN number. I don't know, probably some kind of liability bullshit that Red Bull, if you got in an accident. I even wrote, I was like, hey, I want one. No. We're turning it into like they do in England. I like their motor vehicle department over there. If you are caught driving without auto insurance, they crush your car. They arrest you, they impound your car, and they crush it. You don't get it back. They need to do that here. It would eliminate a lot of DUIs. Because that's usually when they catch them, you know. A drunk driving down the road, no insurance. Not to mention, you know, they got those automatic, they call them automatic number plate readers. We use them here, but not to the extent they do over there. God, they got them things mounted over traffic lights. You can't drive anywhere without them zapping your license plate. And it's got all the information. And if the police car doesn't have one, if you are in the area when you know, say a traffic light license plate reader picks you up, they will radio the car in the area and say, go get him. And then they stop you and they ask you to step back to have a chat. And then they impound your car. And then you turn it into a cube. Can you imagine having a brand new, well, if you got a new car, you've got insurance. Although I don't know if every state requires it. There are some states, if you have a loan on your car, before you can get registration, you have to have insurance. You know, in Ohio, it's bullshit. You go to get your license plates, and they hand you a form. Do you have insurance? Yes, no. Well, you think somebody's going to put no? Everybody checks the box. Yes. They sign it. Here's your license plate, sir. You don't have to present your card. And I've been arguing that with my representative for years. I said, you know, you go into the license bureau, you lie on the form, you sign it, they give you your license plates, the guy goes down the street and whacks you. And your insurance company's got to pay for the fucking damage because he don't have insurance. You should be made to present your insurance card. And another thing that really pisses me off is putting your insurance on your phone. I know, like with Progressive, if you don't have a printer, they'll send you your cards. Here, you know, they come in the mail. There you go. I don't know how many times I watch goddamn videos and the police will stop somebody and it's like, oh, I gotta find my insurance on my phone. That's bullshit. They should have never done that shit. Carry it with you. Now, I'm anal. I went to Staples and it's a clear little folder about the size of a legal envelope. And it's got the zip top thing on it. I make a copy of my title. And then I have my insurance card and my registration folded up in this, and it's right in my door, right in the door pouch. If I get stopped, here you go. Putting it on your goddamn phone is bullshit. Now, you don't need a copy of your title. I just like it for extra proof. Here's my insurance card. Here's my registration. Would you like to see the title that I do own it? No. Okay. Both cars. I make them up, stick it right in the door pouch. That way I know right where it's at. 9 times out of 10, if I get stopped, I'll have the shit before the officer gets up to the car. But I've always been that way. Have your records. Although I do piss. I'll tell you what, I pissed the police off because I take my sticker and instead of putting it over the old sticker, I go up and across and down. You could see, like when I got my plates for the RAV, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. The stickers go right around you. That's the only thing I've ever been talked about. Police will go, hey, that's illegal. What? I got my current sticker. Yeah, it's supposed to be in that little box at the bottom. Oh, well. Because years ago, I collected license plates. I had plates from 38 states, all various years. Matter of fact, I've got a 1925 Ohio license plate. That collection got a little heavy to carry around, and I finally ended up offing it. I cherry picked some of the better license plates. So I think it's kind of neat showing how many years that plate has been on the car. It's illegal as hell, but I mean, I never got stopped to the point going like, we're taking that plate. You got to go to the license bureau, get a new one. Whoa! No, you're not. Well, that's where I got the idea from. Because my uncle, he would nail them to the barn door Every year, new license plate. He put the old one, he nailed it to the barn door. His barn door was a hell of a collection of license plates. So I started collecting them, and online, you can find people to trade with. Matter of fact, some of the plates that I've got hanging in the studios here, I got off of eBay. It's amazing what, well, you can sell anything on eBay. Speaking of eBay, I never saved in my favorite sellers. I looked today. I need to know what the eBay site is. I thought I saved it. I didn't. I'm bad. See if there's something that interests me beside Pokemon cards. Oh, I tried looking today. I put in Pokemon cards. I was like, oh, God, there must be 500 people selling Pokemon cards. I was like, well, this ain't going to work. I figured, oh, maybe there's 8, 10. I'll find the site real fast. Not. Aren't they cool? I want one. They are the neatest looking little things, and they're tiny. And the vans are even tinier. The guy that sells them up the street, he's got a Suzuki, what the hell is that thing called? A Sambar. Oh, is it laid out? But he wants like 14 grand for the thing. But it's cool. Whoever had it over in Japan must have been a young guy. Fancy wheels, LED lights, all neat shit in the interior. Of course, it's all in Japanese. I said to him, because I stopped there today, he had it out front. I was like, oh, how much? 14.5. What? 14.5. It's negotiable. You probably bought it off a KDM for like 6,000. And now but it was neat. Oh God, it was neat. Suzuki Sambar. And you know what's amazing? It's everything over there is 4-wheel drive. Even the vans, 4-wheel drive. But I want, oh God, I want one of them mini trucks so bad. Ain't gonna happen though. Unfortunately. Unless I find a loan shark. Oh, I guess I gotta be writing this down now. Hang on, note paper. Note paper. Jenn. Wait a minute. Jennily. Wait a minute. Jennily. NNE after the Y. NNE77. NNE77. Okay. Tomorrow morning, when I check my eBay, because I'm waiting for an item to come, I'll look that up. And I will save it in my favorite sellers. For sure. I don't know why I didn't save it the last time. The only thing with them being right-hand drive, it would be a learning experience shifting with my left hand and remembering that first gear is all the way over and up. Because me, I'd be putting it in fourth, But it wouldn't take long. I'd get the hang of it. But oh God. I would almost sell my cat. Easy. He'll come barreling through the door and bite me in the ass. Oh, I could have killed him last night. Oh. Like every 20 minutes, he'd have to get up. And he knows how to open the door, which is neat. I close the door. Now, it doesn't latch, but it shuts. And I watch him stick his foot underneath and pull the door just enough to get his nose in there and shove it open. Then he goes out in the kitchen. I shut the door. And he comes barreling through. The door flies open. He barrels up on the bed. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Then he's got to get my armpit. And then I no sooner kind of doze off, and the asshole gets up, goes back out. All night long, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Then I wonder why I don't get any sleep. But the nightly massage is nice. Drives me crazy. And then it's hilarious in the morning. Because I'll make the bed. And then he knows I'm going to go make my coffee. Well, he also knows that it's time for a couple of cat treats. And I could walk around the bed and he'll follow. And I screw with him like that. I keep walking back and forth and back and forth and back. And then finally he has enough of it. And he reaches out and he grabs me, claws in the pants. Okay, here, have a couple of cat treats. Give him a couple of treats and he's happy. But he will follow me around that bed. Until he's had enough. And then it's like, hey, God damn you, get over here, cat treats. Okay, here you go. Then he's happy. What a trip he is. I've never had a cat like him. But, that first year, and the girl from the rescue center kept saying, give him time. It's been 6 months. He'll come around. Then, like month 10, I think he heard me on the phone. I can't take it anymore. And the next thing you know, he was, okay, I'm your buddy now. Enough to drive me crazy. Although that's not a long drive, that's a short putt. Oh, where did I put the note? Oh, here it is. I have, it's a simulated roll top disc, but it's not a roll top. It folds back. And it's got a bunch of little cubby holes. I forgot what cubby hole I put the note in. It's neat because you flip the top back and then you can pull the bottom section out. So you can have a disc this big or you can have a disc this big. It is the neatest thing. It's got drawers and cubby holes. And the girl that lived here before me left it. I said, don't you want that? I said, it's cherry wood. I know. I said, no, it's yours. Okay. It's my console. I got all my equipment on it. I can't close it. But before I put all my equipment on it, I could close the lid and you could lock it. But I've never seen one where the desk part pulls out. You could have it normal, but then you can extend it. And I did it by accident. One day I picked something up off the floor and I grabbed the edge of the desk to help myself up and I fell on my ass again because the whole thing slid out. Now I know what them slots are. But it is neat. I love it. I guarantee if I ever have to move, it's going with me. And it's a heavy son of a bitch, too. But she didn't want it. Matter of fact, she had a bunch of curio cabinets. She asked me, you want those? I was like, well, I could display all my Jeff Gordon die-cast cars. And then I was like, no, it took me too long to wrap them and pack them. No. Take them. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Take them. Took me forever to pack that collection up. And that's another thing that really ticks me off. What I paid for all this Jeff Gordon collectibles. And I look on eBay and I can't get what I paid for. I must have $10,000 worth of shit. If it had Jeff Gordon on it, I was buying it. You ought to see the coats. You ought to see the one leather jacket. $200. I looked on eBay. I found one identical. $50. And that guy was high bidder. $50. I thought for sure it would be worth something. The only stuff that's worth anything is the Dale Earnhardt stuff. And, well, anything Earnhardt. But Gordon's stuff, because I checked, God, I got, the boxes, every car that they came out with, every die cast they come out with, Talladega, and because every race was a different sponsor. So the cars were all different, the paint jobs, and so they'd have, the Daytona car and the Talladega car and this car, and I buying them, spending $100 a car. Go on eBay, they're selling $25. Wasn't a wise investment. I thought for sure, oh boy, he retires. Oh, I'm going to be in the money selling this stuff. Not. But like Richard Petty, people are, making a fortune on Richard Petty stuff. And of course, Earnhardt, me, I got a shitload of, I got a warehouse in my living room of Gordon stuff. And I've got some items that were prototypes. Certain items that they never manufactured. Prototype items. You think I could sell them? Nah. I've got probably a dozen got to be about, I think there's 12. Oh, shit. I just went blank. What's the small cars? Hot Wheels. I've got about a dozen prototype Hot Wheel cars that got the and like I've got a batch of 6. They're in a box. Never produced. Prototypes. In the box. Signed. I put them up on eBay for bids. I couldn't even get close to what I paid for them. So they're packed up back in the warehouse. Boy, old Nomad must really be doing that work thing. I thought maybe he'd pop in, say hi. No Nomad, no neckbeard. It was nice seeing Wyatt here, though. Even if he couldn't stay. I like it when people just pop in and say hi. Because they're thinking of me, Oh, that asshole's on eBay. He's on YouTube. Hi. See ya. I popped in for a minute. I forgot to watch last night. I got involved in a couple of crime mysteries. Then this morning, I'm like, I didn't watch myself last night. So tonight, I'm going to watch myself from last night and tonight. if I don't fall asleep. And then, you know, Prism is always making changes. So I get everything set up and I hit start. Now, the button used to say end stream. Now I have a new button that says finish. Something new tonight. They always got to mess with me. So instead of having an end stream, I have a finish button. I hope when I hit finish, it stops. Otherwise, it'll be running all night. Although no, I shut my computers down at night. Although my computer repairman tells me I should leave them run. He said the worst thing is starting and stopping. He said that puts more wear on the electronics than if you just let it go to sleep. I said, well, why don't you come over and pay my electric bill then? Although, you know what? I run 4 or 5 computers during the day. I'm watching my eaglets, you know. We got 2 TVs running. My bill is only like $5 more than if I shut everything off. And although I'm not watching the Florida Eagles anymore, because when the 2 brothers left the nest, they never came back. And the guy from the Department of Natural Resources said, well, for like the first 2 weeks, they go out, they fly, and then they come back for mom to feed them. Neither brother came back. They left. They were like, we're out of here. See ya. I hope they said goodbye to mom and dad. But they yet to return. I watched the empty nest for a week. Mom, I'll tell you what, the first couple of days, it was sad. Because the parents were sitting there. And mom is squawking, you know, and looking, waiting for the boys to come home. And then finally they kind of gave up. And I didn't know. Eagles only lay eggs once a year. I thought maybe we'd have a second nesting. Nope. Once a year. So that nest is done. The nest down in Georgia, those 2 guys are getting pretty big. But I'm mainly watching the ones out in San Bernardino. Although it's amazing how fast they grow. And another thing that's amazing, every now and then, I watch, I can't remember where it's at, a hummingbird nest. It's like they hatch. And a couple days later, man, hummingbirds grow fast. I don't watch them. I just check on them. I watched them hatch. There were 4 in the nest. And then about a week later, I was like, holy shit, look how big they are. And then a week later, they're like doubled in size. I was like, so I asked my neighbor the other day, because she watches them, and she goes, oh yeah, hummingbird chicks grow at a rapid rate. And then they're gone. Isn't it amazing how fast they grow? I was in shock. I thought maybe somebody traded some birds in the nest. They like, in a week, doubled in size. It was like, although I watched a thing a couple weeks ago. It was National Geographic special. I can't remember the bird. But one certain bird will lay its eggs in another nest. Like the bird will fly around and go, oh, there's eggs down there. She'll lay an egg, and then she's gone. And when the egg hatches, as the bird grows, it's like, we'll say, sparrows and a robin. And the mother of that nest never really notices, like, hey, that's not one of mine. They hatch, and she feeds them all. And it's a riot because her chicks will be like this. And the oddball will be like this. It's like she's thinking, wow, I got a deformed one here. And I can't remember what bird it is, but they lay an egg and that's it. Their job is done. They don't take care of it. And that chick is like twice the size of the others in the nest. And that mother just feeds them all. You would think she'd boot that thing out of the nest going, that's not mine. But yeah, she did. And it was hilarious because it would be, let's say a sparrow and a pigeon. That's how big the damn chick was. And she just fed all of them. Don't birds know? Like, that's not mine. I didn't lay that one. I'm not feeding somebody else's kid. And whatever bird it is will do this several times. She'll go around nest to nest to nest and lay an egg and then take off and never raise her own chicks. I'm going to have to see if I can find that National Geographic special, find out what bird that is. But they don't raise their own young. I was like, easy motherhood, lay an egg, see ya. They don't build nests, nothing. They never lay their own eggs in their own nest. They don't build a nest. They just fly around depositing their eggs. Bonk, 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 bonk. Okay, I got 5 offspring. They'll never know who mom is. And foster mom doesn't stop and think like, God damn, that one's big. Jesus Christ. I need to build a bigger nest next year. And just, yeah, we should take lessons from animals. We really should. Birds, you name it. Yeah. We could learn a lot if we, especially with this bird. It's amazing. Another one that shocked the shit out of me. I think it was Antarctica. Penguins. Now, there must have been 10,000 penguins on this island. And they all laid eggs and then hatched. And all the moms go out and get fish. And how they can tell out of 10,000, all right, let's say there's 8,000 hatchlings. How they can tell their own out of 8,000. And they say, yeah. They come back. You're mine. Okay, here's some fish. How the hell do they do it? You know, I'm listening to the TV and all the squawk sounds the same out of every little bird. And mom will, no, you're not mine. No, you're not mine. No, you're not. Oh, here's my nest. And they say they know their hatchling. Same thing with seals and walrus. There could be 5,000 of them. And when mom comes back from getting dinner, she goes right to her kid with 5,000 other ones yapping. Mind-boggling. Just utterly mind-boggling. See, I mean, it's with all animals. Wildebeest, water buffalo, they all know that, well, it's a little different because, you know, they're nursing their own right there. It's not like they jump in the ocean and they're gone for half a day. Fries my brain how they can do that. And the guy that was narrating it, oh, my favorite guy, David Attenborough. I love the way he narrates. He said they, each chick has a little different pitch in their squawk. 10,000, and each one is different. They all sounded the same to me. You know, I could listen to anything that David Attenborough narrates. He's amazing. I'm trying to think, what was his father's name? Because his father was Sir. He was knighted by the Queen. Bonk. Ow. Or was David the father? Now I'm confused. One is Sir, and then the son followed in father's footsteps and stepped right in and got that job. Is this thing irritating? I really wanted to use this mic for a while. Kind of bothers me that you said it was echoing. Is it irritating? Because I can't tell. I won't be able to tell until I do the playback. But after cleaning it all up and getting it all adjusted, I'd like to use it for at least a week. But I don't want to tick everybody off either. It's okay. Because I'll tell you what, this arm goes like this, and then this, and like this. And the spring tension on this thing, it was a bitch to get it finally set up because of the tension on it. I mean, these white microphones don't weigh that much. I'm like, God, we're not putting a motor block on here. So it took me quite a while to finally get it adjusted to where plus I could swing it out of the way. Although I do need to adjust it a little bit this way. I'd like it right in front of me. And then I couldn't find the screen. I had to look all over the place for it because this mic is like oblong. It's not, and I've got the round ones, but this one takes a special one. And I couldn't find it. And I didn't want to pop. And I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. And here, it fell out of the box and rolled underneath the desk. I didn't see it fall out. I got up, I rolled the chair back. I was like, what's that black thing under the desk? I was like, oh, the pop screen. I didn't even see it fall out of the box. But this arm is a monstrosity. Although, in a professional radio station, they don't want no crap. But it's heavy. Holy shit. Like I say, he paid. It was on sale at $175. Usually it's $219. And then this microphone is at $200. Yeah, like I say, there's almost $400 sitting right here. And it don't look like nothing. It's an arm with a connector and a microphone. Oh, that bastard got a hold of a couple of them. I get up one morning and out in the hallway is a bunch of shredded crap. And I'm like, God damn it. I cleaned it up and threw it away. And then I'm like, where are my covers? And then it dawned on me. He come in here and got them somehow and went out and played with them. And then when they were in 10,000 pieces, he was like, okay, I'm done. But the ones he really likes are for my exterior, my camera, my video camera. I've got a boom mic like they have for the, TV stations. When you see them on, the guy's got I got the big pole too. Like I'm going to be recording in a crowd. And it's got that big fuzzy cover. Well, it looks like a squirrel, is what it looks like. He got one of them. There wasn't much left of it when he got done with it. Because the boom mic is about that long. So it's a big, looked like a squirrel. Big fuzzy screen. And I was testing the camera and the boom mic just in case I needed it. And I put the camera away and I shortened the pole because it's got, sections, and I stood it in the corner, not thinking that it was just high enough for him to reach. And they slide on and off. And he come in here like, oh, there's a squirrel in the corner. Then out in the hallway, it was torn to shreds. $35 for a replacement. For boom mics, they're not cheap. Because they're twice the size. Well, 3 times the size. But it looks like a squirrel. And he got it. So I got to make sure all the stuff gets put away out of his reach. Yeah, when he got those, because these are foam rubber, nothing. There was foam rubber everywhere that morning. Then I come in and I'm looking at my microphones going, where's my screens? Where'd they go? And then it dawned on me, oh, eBay, buy some more screens. I bought the 10-pack just in case. I was going through my video camera equipment last night. I was like, oh, geez. I got more goddamn shit. See, my plan. Oh, I never dug them decals out either. Hang on. Let me make a note with the eBay website here. Bring out decals for tomorrow. It looks hilarious. You got to picture a medium metallic blue 97 RAV4, okay? with roof lights. And on the door, it says WDWL TV mobile camera crew. And I got these decals on the door. Well, I got an extra set. And the idea was anything that was kind of interest in the neighborhood to film it. And then I was going to start another channel just dedicated to things in the neighborhood. Because like during the summer, they got kids tennis and kids soccer. And I figured I'd go up and film some of that and do some news stories. Well, I got everything all together, camera equipment, and, I got to have 2 of everything, so camera bags and all kinds of shit. Well, the news stories and the second channel never happened. And I've got all this shit and a camera car. And I get more looks. Pull in the shopping center and people like, huh? Boy, that must be a poor radio station or TV station. And then they'll ask me, what channel is that? It's on the web. Okay, what channel is it? It's on the web, YouTube. Okay, what channel is that? I got a news story I got to be on. See ya. What channel is it? It's YouTube. What channel? 33. Channel 33 on YouTube. Okay, thank you. Then at night, they're like, YouTube ain't got no channel 33. The hell's he telling me? People will drive you crazy. They'll look at the car. Now, it's got Ohio license plates on it, okay? What state's that from? Ohio. Not the car, the station. WDWL, what state? Ohio. Cleveland. What channel? It's not on local television, lady. Well, then what do you got all that for? I gotta go, ma'am. Nice talking with you. What I go through. Speaking of go through, I think it's time for me to go through some red clam sauce with Italian sausage to kick it up a little bit. Like Emeril Lagasse. Oh, I loved him. You ever watch him on the Food Network? I loved him, especially when he got BAM! Then the Food Network retired him. Worst thing they ever did. Because he was number 1. And he drew the following. And then they retired him. They're like, oh, we're not picking you up for another season. Okay. Oh, you come in just as I'm getting ready to sign off, Tim. Time to make dinner. Yeah, I talked to Duck, too. Give him hell about selling that Jeep. And not talking to me first. He forgot. Because I told him. I said, hey, you ever sell that Jeep? And then he tells me, oh, it needed too much. I It's okay. Not like I was going to take it to the Daytona 500. Yeah, now he's doing infomercials for his air fryer. All right, tablet, let's play some outro music here. No! No! Damn it. Outro music, not intro. Damn thing got a mind of its own. There we go. Outro time. We know where, right here. WDWL TV, 7 p.m. I'm getting better at it. Just remember, WDWL TV, 7 p.m. And you'll see me and that asshole in the corner over there. Well, I appreciate everybody stopping in. When are you getting the Camaro out? I want to take that for a ride. I'm going to loosen that clutch up a little bit. Uh-oh. Hope your daughter feels better. We'll be thinking about her, Jenny. Let her know that she got all these fans out in internet land thinking about her. And with that, we will meet again tomorrow night, right here at 7 o'clock.